Hi everyone! In today's video, let's discuss the importance of language learning. We all know that in the era of globalization, learning another language has become more crucial than ever. This gives us numerous merits, such as job opportunities, career advancement, a great exposure to different cultures, and most importantly, our memories can be sharpened. So, all of these tips I'm about to share in today's video do not just apply to English, but other languages as well. Since during the summer, I decided to learn Korean as a hobby because I'm really interested in K-pop music as well as K-dramas. And I feel like if we actually know the language, then when I watch some movies, it'll be more entertaining and it'll be a more interesting experience. That is why the more you learn, the better a person you'll become. You'll understand what it takes to learn a new language, and you will also understand the ease of communication when you know a new language. So let's jump right into the main parts in today's video. It's about how you can, level up your language learning as well as stop translating inside your head when you learn a new language. So I'll specifically talk about English, but like I said, this can also be applied to other languages. The first one is surround yourself with English speaking environment. You can immerse yourself in, English music, some movies, or piece of news every single day. And this doesn't take up much time. In the morning, you can spend 30 minutes or just, 15 minutes listening to a song, sing along, and watch your favorite TV show in English. As long as you immerse yourself in the language, you'll soon get used to the language and, have more confidence in your English ability. And second thing is by practice speaking out loud, right? You can describe your day, describe your feelings or emotion, your first day to school, or your everyday life. In this way, you will soon feel more comfortable in using the English language. So that is what I mean by practice speaking out loud, or when you are learning new words. Also, pronounce that word out loud. Like today, I learned the word oversight. And oversight means a mistake made because of failure to notice something. So I practice speaking out loud the word oversight, and I also make an example, which is because of the unfortunate oversight, your order was not dispatched by the date requested. So that is how you immerse yourself in the language, and by practice speaking out loud, you'll feel more comfortable in using the language afterwards. So it's really vital if you have a notebook, a pen with you whenever you learn any languages, because this will help you get used to taking notes, write down some sentences or phrase that you are not familiar with, and over time, you'll feel more confident. Trust me, this is truly helpful. The third thing when you learn a new language, or English in particular, is by using images. How does this work? Normally, when you learn a new word, for the majority of people, they will search for the translation in their mother tongue. Like if I learn the word oversight, then maybe I will use the translation app to find the Vietnamese meaning for the word oversight. Now, I'm not saying that translation apps are necessarily bad, but if you want to, level up your language learning, it'll be better if you use images to help you imagine the picture or imagine the context of the word so that you can connect the meaning with the images that you're looking at, or connect meaning with concepts, right? You can also use flashcards. Flashcards are amazing ways that you can do this. Either, flashcard online, I think so. There are many apps that you can make flashcards by yourself. One of them is Quizlet or Gizmo. Those are two apps that you can edit your own flashcards and learn them every single day. And if you use you can also use Easy English Translation to help you too. If I learn the word oversight, so I search for the meaning, maybe in Vietnamese, but I will try to explain it back to myself using Easy English Translation. So oversight means a mistake made because you haven't noticed something, see? Or if you learn the word, let's say, abhor. Abhor. You don't know what it means, you search for the meaning, and you see the translation in your mother tongue. So you can try to think of another easy synonyms for the word abhor, and that is hate. So in that way, you can make connections with other English words a lot better. Because the reason why I said that you should not use translation apps too much is because those apps will hinder your ability to think in English or think in other languages. And another way that I think it's also possible is you will find other alternative ways to express the word or the phrases you just learned. For example, you learned the phrase out of the blue. Out of the blue means out of nowhere, very unexpected. So you can try to make an example, or you can try to think of other ways so that you can express what you want to say instead of using translation app to help you think of the words. So if you don't remember the phrase out of the blue, you will use the word unexpected or I was not expecting that. So there are many other alternative ways that we can use to express our feelings or emotions. Next thing is by think in English during every single activities. For instance, if you're cooking or washing your car, also try to look around and name things in English. Like I'm studying right now and I can name this is a notebook, this is a pen, this is like my headphone, what else? A highlighter, or this is my smartwatch. So by naming things in English, you'll get used to, think in English, and you will kind of learn English words a lot faster by connecting that word to an image or to an easy English translation. All right, what's the next step? Next step is by, think in English in quiet moment. Of course, in life, you'll definitely have some quiet moments that you're reflecting yourself, reflecting your past mistakes, or reflecting a very peaceful or exciting moment in your life. So use that moment to, think about it. How can you describe your feelings? Are you feeling excited, delighted, or a bit upset about something? Right? And the last thing I want to introduce in this video is context. You can use context to, get better at learning English words. So I have a sentence and let's try. What do I mean by using context clue? Because when you encounter unfamiliar words, that is very common when you learn a language. When you encounter unfamiliar words in English, instead of getting frustrated or nervous or don't know what to do, you can try to use the context around that word to understand the overall message. Sometimes what we need is to understand the overall message, not just that one word. So don't let that one word determine whether you will understand the message or not. So I actually have an example sentence. Let me read it out loud. Because he always wound up kicking himself in the head when he tried to play soccer. When he tried to play soccer, Oswald began to abhor the sport. Now the word is abhor. Let's imagine that let's pretend maybe you do not know what abhor means, but we can actually understand the overall message through the context around the word abhor. So because he always ended up kicking himself in the head when he tried to play soccer, he began to abhor the sport. When you kick yourself in the head when you play a sport, how do you feel? Frustrated, sad, detest something. So abhor means hate, right? When you ended up kicking yourself, you began to hate the sport. See? So you can try to make connections and guess the meaning of the word based on its context. In that way, you can practice your thinking skill and get more confident. And lastly, I think more practice, the more you practice, the better you'll become. So just put in the effort and study that language right now. See you in another video. Bye.